welcome to Let's Talk Tottenham. Huge amount to talk about today. New signing potentially, new kit launch, first pre-season friendly. A hell of a lot to talk about. I'm out of date with the intro picture there, as you can see, but we've been moaning for years and years and years that Tottenham don't get anything done, so I can't really complain. Three great guests. Brad, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing well. As I said earlier, I've actually gone around the world with Talk Tottenham. I've gone from London, Toronto, Adelaide, and now back to London. So I've gone the whole way around the world in the last three shows.
Excellent. But you're letting the international travellers down here. Only Brian is representing that. How you doing, Brian? Back in Canada?
Back in Canada, doing good. Got a nasty cough that I'm trying to get rid of. But apart from that, all tickety-boo. And I woke up this morning to hear three words or read three words. Here we go. So this 84-year saga is coming to an end.
But we're getting a drama trial. And Bob, how you doing, Bob? Thanks so much for all three for coming on. But Bob hasn't been on here for a little while. How you doing, buddy?
Great to be back, mate. Thank you very much for having me on. Like Brian, I woke up to three wonderful words as well. Diarrhea tablets delivered. Brilliant.
Excellent. And that's the minute preview to go on Twitter. A couple of comments in. Darius, how you doing, buddy?
Big up, Darius.
The South Stand, how you doing, Marlon? Thanks for the comments. Please get your comments coming in, thoughts, opinions, whatever. It all helps. And please hit the like, please hit the subscribe. Really helps the channel, and also that notification bell as well. And all three of these guys have YouTube channels. It's on the description, but at the end they'll tell you where you can find it and what it's about. So we'll start. So here we go. It's about this guy, Djed Spence.
We've been in for Djed Spence, have we? Oh, wow.
We kept that one under the radar, didn't we?
Yeah. Obviously, 84 years and counting is coming to an end. He's incoming, having his medical apparently, but as Bob always says, and I agree with, he isn't holding the shirt yet, so let's not count our chickens. But I think it's probably safe to say, Brad, that it will go through. It's reported 12 million, 20 million with add-ons and business like that. Good signing or
I'll admit to you now, I haven't seen him play, but I only go what I read in the press and what I read on you guys and on YouTube and that. But yeah, I mean, I looked to when we signed Walker and Danny Rose came through actually we got Danny Rose from Leeds, didn't we? And they were two very, very young players, and they developed into probably the best two fullbacks, stroke wing-backs, probably in Europe at the time at their peak, which under Conte's system is brilliant. So bearing in mind that Paratić is 33, you'd have to say that you could look at Spence and Sessegnon becoming Walker and Rose, hopefully. I mean, it might not happen, but I'm looking at it that way. So I'm very pleased.
They've got Perisic there as well as a wing back.
Yeah,
exactly. Be able to teach them the ropes and little intricacies and things like that.
Exactly. You've also got Doherty who, as we know, improved last season. So yeah, we got some support there. It probably will mean the end of Emerson, but he doesn't fit in with Conte's system. He's probably a half decent fullback, but as a wing back, he's pretty poor. So as much as I like him for the effort he puts in and the enthusiasm he has for the club, he obviously loves playing with the club. But I'm afraid, that's you have to go. If it's one of the three players at right back, he's the one. So yeah. But no, I'm once this deal goes through, I think that's a good deal. And someone actually tweeted today, I forget who it was, the ages of our players, and we've still got an actual young team, even though Conte's going for experience. We've actually still
Conte
got
only signs older players, doesn't he? Was the thing bashed around the head with, but only. So
I'm looking forward to seeing him. Well, I token maybe he might play against Rangers, but I'm looking forward to seeing him play and seeing whether there is whether he could be the next Kyle Walker.
Yeah, I mean, Brian, I was hoping really, if I'm being honest and everything rosy and perfect, that we'd get a ready-made right wing back. Doherty would then be the understudy. Obviously, Djed Spence isn't that, but Conte has a little bit of a history with wing backs and training them up to be better than they have been. Good signing for you, or is it one for the future? Is it Doherty is the first choice and then Djed Spence is less, or is it just get up that English quota because it's been reported that we're a bit short in that area?
Well, it's a bit of all of them, in all honesty. But the thing that Brad was saying about Rose and Walker, the good thing that they did is they went on loan to Villa and Sunderland respectively, so they got a year under their belts.
Yeah,
and that's kind of what I imagine with Spence, because Spence, I just don't see how you go from being a playoff winning good right wing back in a championship team to a title contending, top 4 pushing Champions League playing team. Unless you're an elite player, like it happened with Delhi for the first 2 years or something, it's very rare that you set the ball rolling straight away. Now, I think in a couple of years, this kid's going to be phenomenal. Absolutely outstanding. He's got all the attributes for Conte. I was just concerned about this season. But who knows? He could be like a Dele Alli. It's a good listen. It's a good signing. It's a great signing. But it's not, for me, it doesn't fit into the way that we buy in this summer for now. For right here, right now, August the 6th, here we go. I would have liked the more complete right back in. But if Conte says I can do something with him, we've seen what he's done with Davies and Dier, then so be it. He's got the attributes for that Conte likes. So let's see what happens. But it's finally over. This has been so boring. It's just happy to get it over the line.
At least the other ones have been fairly quick. This is the exception to the rule. On 5 transfers fairly quickly through from first reported to holding the shirt, and this one is the exception. But Bob, in terms of Spence, what are your opinions on this? Of most amount of dribbles in the Championship last year by quite a distance. I think 192 and 118 or something like that was the second. But his output in terms of assists, not that great. And Conte's known for playing with attacking fullbacks, which he is, wing-backs, which he is, obviously, with those dribbles. But you'd expect a bit more an output there. Do you think that's something that he thinks, like Brian was saying, I can work with this kid, I can get something out of it? What do you make of the signing?
I think, and I've always said this, Brian, as I've also said, regarding knowing if a signing is going to be a flop or a hit is all hindsight. We were all excited when Ndombele came in, and we'll see how that turned out. So, yeah, this kid might be the best thing since sliced bread, and we all know how good sliced bread is. Or he might turn out to be another Ndombele. So it's a waiting game. For me, I'm with you, Chris. I was hoping we'd get someone a bit more ready-made. It's a lot different to everyone else we've brought in. And the word reject has been branded around amongst the YouTube community by an individual. He was essentially a Middlesbrough reject at the beginning of last season. He wasn't seen good enough for the Borough side, and he was given out on loan to Forest. So,
things like that are absolute nonsense. Kevin De Bruyne was a Chelsea reject. Mo Salah was a Chelsea reject
as well. It's a wait and see. We all hope he turns out to be one of the best right wing backs. But yeah, it's a wait and see. We all hope as soon as he puts on that white shirt, that he does what Conte asks him of. But I've got a funny feeling Doherty will still be our number one, because a lot of people are thinking.
You happy with that? Because I thought he played quite well at the end of last season. The injury obviously cut that short. Are you happy with Doherty? Give a chance, or are you like, we can't have Doherty playing there if we want to win leagues and cups and whatever? Unless
we get someone else in, mate, I think it has to be Doherty. It's the only worry is how much the injury has affected him. Now, I never, ever expected him to be back for pre-season, certainly get some minutes under him. So it's onwards and upwards so far. And he said thus far, but that's copyrighted now by Sean Butler. But it's a wait and see. I'd be happy with Doherty. I wouldn't be over the moon. And I know Brian gave his mark for the transfer window early on We Are Tottenham TV as 8.8, was it?
Yeah.
No, it's still a 6.
7.5 for me.
5 for me, yeah. A centre back, and ideally another couple of wing backs for me. And we're linked with Depay, but I'm sure we'll talk about that.
Yeah. When I said 8.8, I was just watching a video of Paul Gascoigne taking that free kick. So I think 8 was.
Were you judging the transfer window or the free kick, Brian?
The free kicks are 28.2 out of 10. But yeah, no, I think it has been I wanted a right wing back in, and I said it immediately goes up when it's a right wing back. Maybe I was a little bit too eager with
too early.
8.8. Maybe it's 7:00 in the morning here when I gave that as well. I've been up for 20 minutes. So But yeah, it's been a good window.
What I would say is that it's still a signing that fixes a problem. Whether it fixes the problem wholeheartedly, but it's still a problem position, if you know what I mean. We obviously needed a backup goalkeeper, got one of those. Left wing back, whether we needed one of those, I'm not sure, but we've got a born winner in there and someone who knows Conte's system and will be his general. Midfield, we've strengthened that up. We've got genuine backup now to Kane, and not just backup, someone who, if Kane isn't performing, can step in. And also, I said this on, I think, Hotspur Hood on Monday. If Conte decides Kane is our playmaker and can drift about, we've got a striker there now. And then we needed a right wing back, as long as the medical goes okay and everything like that, no complications.
How typical would it be if he fails a medical?
well, Ledley King would be able to help him out, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
You know, someone at Tottenham must still have Darren Anderton's number. But Brad, do you see any more coming? We made 6 signings as long as this one goes through, which for Tottenham is just fairy tale stuff. Certainly before the start of the season. Do you see any more coming? Bob mentioned there about a couple of wingers and a centre back. I think it's centre back.
Yeah,
hence why we only loaned Lenglet, so I think we'll sign another one.
Yeah,
we see any more
seem
coming?
to have signed Lenglet, and again, I my knowledge of these players is very limited. We seem to have signed Lenglet on a loan with no option to buy. So I'm presuming that is, we're thinking that the players like Bastoni, the ones that we wanted, will become available at some stage. And people are saying, well, why didn't we put the option to buy? Because if he has a really good season, then we got to pay all this money. But then maybe they did try to get option to buy. Maybe Barcelona said no. So we don't know. We don't need ins and outs. So I think we do need another centre back. I think we got the right-sided, left-sided places there. I think we need a central defender. At the moment, we've only got really Eric Dier. And I can't see, at the moment, someone like Tanganga taking that role or the other guy, Rodon, who everyone seems to forget about, or for that matter, Sanchez. So I think we might need a player there. And we need that advanced playmaker player to just give us some variation. Whether we went in seriously for Ericsson, I don't know. But I think there might be another signing coming in. We've still got a long way to go in the transfer window. We've actually got 6 players in, virtually 6 players, before we've even had our second friendly. So
nearly averaging a player a week, aren't we, at the moment? Right? So,
and that's what we wanted as well, wasn't it? Players in for pre-season for Conte, and we've got it.
They might not be the ones that are on the top of our list, but we've gone down the list, and we've got these players that still make it a decent squad. And you've got to look at, well, I think we'll do well this season, but I wouldn't say that we're going to be anywhere near winning the title. But then you've got to look in following seasons. That if we have a good season this season, then you get some other players in, and and you go from there. So yeah. And going back to the Djed Spence, how long before Alexander Arnold became the player he was at Liverpool? Because he was a young player that came through. So yeah, it's we don't know, but I'm pleased. I think there might be one, maybe 2 more signings coming in before the.
We've got a couple of comments here.
Oh, sorry, mate.
So Spence, underwhelming signing, but hope he comes good. I imagine Liverpool was saying the same about Andy Robertson from Hull.
Yeah,
he could go either way. And Darius thinks at least 3 more coming in.
Wow.
But yeah, sorry, Bob.
Yeah, I was going to say, do you guys think if the medical goes through, when the medical goes through today, it looks like he holds up the shirt, does all the media formalities, etc. Any chance they might put him on a jet out to Korea? Or do you think that's,
I think definitely
for the sake of one game?
Oh no!
I think they come back tomorrow, don't they?
Yeah,
after the game tomorrow, they come back.
Yeah. No, I can't see that happening.
No.
He'll obviously be going to Scotland and to Israel. But I think, Bob, if we'd just gone to Korea today, let's just say, then there may have been a very, very good chance.
Yeah.
But the fact it's the game tomorrow, and I think they fly back Sunday or whatever it is, I don't think it's worth sending him out there, is it? And obviously, you've got 2 players out there with COVID.
Of course, yeah.
So God knows if anyone else has caught it. But I reckon if it had been the first day of the tour, then yeah, he'd be out.
Did anyone see that tweet about that? Was he a DJ? I don't know. Who's
AJ Tracy.
Yeah. I thought, oh my God, he's already out there. Which a few other people did, so I'm not the only one. So yeah,
I can confirm my best friend Rich Arlison
Yeah.
He's not.
Did you expect that? I'm assuming you didn't expect that reply to come back, Bob.
Mate, it was weird, Chris, because obviously there was people who don't know. I'm sure everyone knows because I've told everyone. But
Or got me to
I
tell
don't know if Brad
everyone.
knows. I don't know if Brad knows.
No, I don't know.
actually.
I don't know.
Right, okay. So there was a tweet that went out. Someone took some footage of Richarlison missing a sitter in his first training session for Spurs. And it was put on Twitter and it blew up and got Spurs fans saying what a waste of money, why we brought him 60 minutes. So I thought, and I'm a Richarlison fan, and I thought I did what I normally do, Brad. I put a compilation together.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah,
put my music, put music on there. I put a tweet out saying everyone can make a clip to suit their own narrative. So here's mine, and it's got all his goals, thunderbolts, and whatever. And Richarlison replied to me.
Wow.
Yeah. It basically said, I'm paraphrasing, that a lot of people hate me because I score against them. I love it. So shithousery within a tweet. Never mind on the football pitch, and that's what we need. That's the kind of mentality we need. So yeah, he is officially my best friend. The fact he doesn't know anything about it is irrelevant.
Brian looks devastated that he's been demoted to second now.
Listen, if it's second to Richarlison, what can I do? There's not much. I can't. There's not much that man can't give him that I can.
Brian Guardian Angel is not my.
There you go.
Yeah,
there you go.
Couple of comments. Paddy Hartnett, how you doing, buddy? I think
Big up,
possibly one more signing, or at best two. Window been superb so far. And Kuva, how you doing, buddy? Feel we need left wing back, two central defenders, another versatile, very attacking mid forward. Out of the four, I can't see any more than one happening, sadly. Brian, what do you think on terms of how many? And I'm going to ask you here. You've got to create a bit of controversy on these things to get viewers up. Does Levy deserve any credit for the window that we've had so far?
No.
You can piss off.
Listen, I know Paddy's in the corner. The reason I say no is it's taken 43 windows. It's taken 43 windows. Don't get me wrong. What the club have done this summer, I'm over the moon with. Before I start giving him the credit, I need to see it more consistently. There's no coincidence that this has happened. The summer that Conte and Paratici are together. People can say, yeah, the stadium and COVID, blah, blah, blah. Money has always been at Tottenham Hotspur. And we spent it, but we have just spent it awfully and not where the manager wants and who the manager wants. Yeah, all of a sudden the manager's getting who he wants. The deals are getting done early before pre-season, like Poch wanted but never got. He gets credit for signing off on the checks and finally doing it. But it's kind of he was put into a corner, and this is now what's happened when he's in that corner. And I'm not talking about the Levy-outers here. I'm talking purely Conte and Paratici have done something and said, right, listen, here we go. This is it. You've got a huge chance here. You've got to act on it, or whatever may happen will happen. And there's no doubt it's been a phenomenal window by the club. See you later, beautiful.
I have Daniel Levy, yeah.
Yeah, all right. I might have turned the camera around and shown you how I would say goodbye to him if that had happened. But yeah, listen, this is a big start. It's a big start. It's a step in the right direction. We just have to see it consistently now. Now, we have to buy big this window because there's so much damage to fill out. But next season, like Liverpool do, they may only need one or two players to freshen it up. We needed to have this bulk buy and do it right, like we did with Bale, which we screwed up. Yeah. He was there. Now he's here. We've got... But if he starts doing this, if we're, let's say, touching distance from Liverpool and Manchester City, and we come back from the World Cup, and the window opens, and we go again, and we really, really do back a manager again, then you've got to think that that's two windows over there. And then you start thinking, okay, he's done it twice. And that will start making people think, okay, maybe this is what we've wanted. But do I give Levy some credit? A little. But the majority is Paratici and Conte.
Yeah, I agree 100%. He deserves credit for actually changing it. But yeah, like you say, one window ain't going to change things. So just quickly,
it seems to me that he hasn't got involved in the football side as much as he normally does, because you haven't seen it in the media about Levy pushing for this and Levy pushing for that. It seems
just
to be
Djed Spence that's taken 84 years.
Yeah, exactly, and it's like which he was in charge of. So say no more.
I will say with a caveat with that as well, just so it was Middlesbrough as well playing stupid games. They weren't just solely him, but there's no smoke without fire.
No. But it has taken ages, but it has been done. Not before
pre-season, exactly.
But with a lot of pre-season.
He's been
the Adama Traore thing was an absolute joke, was it? I know we didn't get it, but that was the whole window.
I think we give Levy credit for basically staying out of football matters, or so it would seem. But I think as much as we loved Pochettino, I don't think he was hard enough. And I think Conte obviously is. And I've said to many people, probably you guys as well, that I think Conte had him by the balls. They had to do something. Otherwise, that was the end of it, And I think it got to that stage. So it should never have got to that stage, but it did. And now let's see where we are in 2, 3, 4 seasons. And if we're near the top winning things, and spending money buying players, we've got a better sort of scouting system and all that. Well, then, we can say fair enough. But yeah, you're right. It's one swallow doesn't make a summer, as they say. So we'll have to see going forward. But so far, this transfer window has been good. But I think we're probably in I think we're probably in a what's going on. We don't know how to react because we've never had this before. But a few comments here from Complain a lot. If we nick Paqueta from Arsenal, that would make my day. Only reason we're keeping Lucas and Emerson is to keep Paqueta warm when he signs. Please, Conte, bring in a creative mid. Let it be Paqueta or Maddison for that matter. We'll come to that in a sec. Question from Paddy for you, Bob. Richarlison or Mabbott? You can only pick one as your best friend. Anyone who doesn't know, Gary Mabbott was on your show a few weeks ago, I think, a couple of weeks ago. But yeah, you can only pick one. Or you can revert back and go back to your true best friend, Brian, who's on your right.
No, fuck that. They're both. I'm on the phone to him constantly, nearly every night, so it's a hard one. But I think what I like to call him Mabsy. He's teaching Richarlison is how to be a gentleman on the football pitch, and Richarlison is showing Mabsy what's it like to be a see you next Tuesday on the football pitch. So for me, I'd have to pick Mabcharlison.
Comment from Ben
I just want to say, I complain a lot, THFC. I don't know if he or she is a regular on your show. I've never seen him or her. I love the comments, but the best thing about the comments is the grammar. The capital, but they messed it up. But Madison, they messed it up on Madison without the capital M, and it's bugging me. It's bugging me. But
Ben Kaufman of Charleston also said, "I want to emulate the greatest player ever to kick a football. My absolute idol, Paul Stewart." I'm not sure if that's real or not, but let's move on. This was revealed the other day as well, to amongst mixed reviews. I've heard scuba diving kit. What the hell is that? I'm going out to buy it right now, which is a new away kit. Brad, thoughts? And are you going to buy one?
It's not the best away kit, but it's not the worst. So I don't get. There's nothing wrong with being passionate about our kids.
You need new glasses, Brad.
Yeah.
You'll get your turn. You'll get your turn.
My friend Penny, a big shout out to Penny. She said that it looked like a Chelsea kit, and that's because it's royal blue. We should never have royal blue in our kits. They should be navy blue because that's Spurs colours, or at a pinch sky blue, which we've used in the past. So that's the one criticism. Maybe even make it purple. We've had purple in the past, but it's not the worst. It's not the best. But then again, I like last season's away kit. So what do I know?
The one that looked like someone had just chucked a load of paint out.
Exactly, but
that really grew on me. I thought, what
60s,
the bloody hell is this when I saw it?
It's all psychedelic, man.
Yeah, Brian, thoughts on the away kit? New away kit?
Oh, it's horrific. It's horrific. All I got to say,
Brian sitting on the fence as usual.
No, I mean, if you look at it like last season's kit and this season's kit, it's no coincidence to me that since we signed Dulux, it's like we've got a load of paint left over, and let's just choose these colours and try and promote them for Dulux. I think it's horrific, and the thing that's really bugging me about it, and it really is bugging me, maybe some old school, I hate the cockerel being in the centre. That should always be right here on the heart for me. I hate it.
It looks like a training top, doesn't it? In that
I hate it. Ben from We Are Tottenham TV, when I was speaking to him, said it looks like a pair of kids' pajamas. So when you went to bed in, I can't stand it.
Bob's fourth new best friend has said it looks like something that you'd find in a whale's ass. I'm not really sure how you found that out.
How did I know that?
Gloss over that,
I mean, Paddy's right. Paddy's put in the comment that this may be trying to target the younger generation. I know the younger generation have a different sense of style and shit, but come on. I mean, Paddy, what do you think of the kit? Yeah. Let me hear what Paddy thinks, because I think it's absolutely, honestly, I'm just so appalled. I would do anything, and I do mean anything, to go back to Under Armour.
Yeah. Brian, here, Scuba 99 on the back. I'm beach body ready, except for the massive belly and being pasty white, sickly and scared of the sun.
Brian, I've just come back.
Scuba 99.
I've just come back from Australia, and the kids in Australia, or certainly in Adelaide where I was, the mullet has made a comeback with the kids. So the kids know fuck all. So
there you
go. Big statement from Ben here. Worst Tottenham kit of all time. You're obviously forgetting when Robbie Keane was playing for us, that kit that looked like someone had shat on it all over, because that.
I didn't mind that chocolate brown kit, man.
No.
I'd love it if we'd have won something with it, like the green kit that we got to the Champions
League. Yeah, but that's what people talked about yesterday. It would just be fucking typical that we win a cup in that piece of shit.
Last season's kit was made by Stevie Wonder. This year's kit was made by Wonder West Steve.
Brilliant.
Bob, are you on Brad's side of the fence or Brian's in terms of the kit?
To me, it's the Susan Boyle of all football kits. You know, it's ugly to look at.
Which side are you on? Which side?
Yeah.
I'm confused.
Well, it's ugly to look at, and it makes me go. So no, it's no, I don't like it, man. Don't like it. Big up Susan Boyle, by the way, if you're watching.
Yeah.
I have to add to my comments about the kit. Yeah, they could have done a lot better. Definitely, we could have had a lot.
Well, do you know what it is as well? That's frustrating me. Is we've seen this kit being rumoured for about 2 years. 2 years we've seen this mock-up done. And then you look at it, and I'm sure Nike look at all stuff on social media, like they have their departments. If you see the amount of fans that do mock-up kits, that make their own kits, and some of them are absolutely superb, and they get all the great reviews like, oh, mate, this is lovely, this is brilliant, I love this. And then this picture's been floating around for 2 years, where the majority is, oh, it's horrific, I can't stand it, scuba diving, cycle proficiency test, all that nonsense. And they go and do it.
Yeah.
I just don't get it.
It looks like a template. It looks like a template, doesn't it, Chris? It looks like
that's because you say that I got that picture from the official Spurs website shop, but Brian, in your comment there, if they take one that everyone likes, they've probably got to pay royalties to that person. Whereas if it's someone that no one likes, no one's taking ownership of that. Oh,
yeah, let's face it. I don't think Nike is short of a few bob for royalties.
No,
it's not like you and me did the top, and it was like, right, okay, Nike, I'm gonna pay you. It's I think Nike could afford it, but it's just a horrific. They don't listen to the fans. I know Nike, they have a template for loads. I mean, that top, once again, is Barcelona's training top, like it was a few years ago for us with the away top. They have a template of things. There's no originality. It's like, right, pick your, and it's just horrific. Horrific.
That looks like the template, doesn't it, Brian?
Yeah, it
looks like a template.
You'd think
it's literally they get the template and it's paid by numbers.
Yeah.
You'd think they'd have done their research, though, wouldn't you? Really, I'm sure they must research these kits, surely.
But you know what? You know what they're doing, Brad. Levy and Lineker sitting there going, "Okay, so that's not gone down too well. Another kit." So they'll just release another shirt, and they're thinking
fourth kit. They'll release a fourth one. The fifth kit will be absolutely brilliant. Yeah.
We've got Steve Cohen coming on the stream. I put the link on a couple of chats. How you doing, Steve?
Yeah, not bad, thanks. You all right?
Big up,
yeah, not
Steve.
too bad. What are your thoughts on the new away kit? and Djed Spence as well?
Oh, I don't know about that. No, I don't know. He's I don't know much about him, only what people have been saying, really.
Were you hoping for someone a bit more ready-made as a right wing back? Are you happy with a kind of young?
I don't know. I'm quite happy at the moment, I suppose. I mean, when you think about the way Spurs do things, you do tend to think they kind of invest very young, and look to or get someone hitting the ground running. I think this guy is probably in between. Really, he's young enough to keep for a later date, but equally, look running if he gets the play time.
Yeah. It like Bob said, it's a wait to see. I think. Let's move on. Pre-season game, Team K-League 6-3 to Spurs. A lot of talk about the defence being absolutely terrible and all of this kind of stuff. From my point of view, no time to panic. This is what pre-season is about. These players haven't played for a month, maybe more, haven't trained for a month, maybe more. That's why they're all throwing up in the training session that Conte gave them. They're trying to get back to fitness, so mistakes will happen. I'd rather them make mistakes in games like this than rather than Southampton, Champions League, what have you. But what did you make of the game, Brad?
First of all, Steve Cohen, is that my Steve Cohen?
Yes, it is your Steve Cohen, Brad.
Oh, hello, Steve. And I'm listening thinking, well, it certainly sounds like him. Of course, I can't see you. So.
It's stalkerish, that, Brad.
Well, the thing is, I'm
semi-naked. You're supposed to be training. Brad. You're supposed to be training.
Yeah, we'll finish early today.
Well, I'll see it at the BFS later after this, actually. I thought the pre-season game, I thought it was a lot of fun, actually. I really enjoyed it. Admittedly, I just got over a 13-hour, 20-hour flight. But, I actually really enjoyed it. I thought it was really entertaining. And, look, the 3 goals we conceded were awful, let's face it. Very, very bad defending. And the free kick was a comedy of errors. Some went one way. Was it Sanchez or I can't remember who's the other one in the ball. But whoever it was went, like that, and the ball went through. And Lloris, I actually watched it live. I thought, how did that get in? So Lloris should have saved it. It's awful. But, Conte will look at these things, and this is the things that he'll sort out. But no, I thought it was very entertaining. There was no really outstanding performances. There's no really poor performance. It was just a normal first pre-season friendly game. I'm pleased that the Korean team did seem to put in and make it a game, and there was some nice little tackles going out there. But it's good fun.
We gave everyone a show, didn't we? It's like a boring 1-0 win, a 6-3 win. They're here. Got a couple of goals himself, but Brian, this guy got a lot of flack on Twitter. Eric Dier. No doubt about it, he did make mistakes. No doubt about it, he has made mistakes. For me, he's not the greatest by any stretch of the imagination, but he's not the worst by any stretch of the imagination. For me, last season, we did look a lot more solid in defence with an actual leader in there. I don't think Romero's a leader at the moment. Sanchez definitely isn't. Rodon, I don't even know who he is anymore because I haven't seen him play for about 3 years. But in terms of Dier, and like we said, he gets a lot of flack for the errors. He was at fault for the headed goal, but then Lloris doesn't get any flack for the goal, and Son. But like I say, no flack for me for anybody. It's pre-season. These players are unfit. They're getting involved in training and playing again. What did you think of the game first and foremost? And do you think the criticism of Dier? Let me bring the banner up. Is horrible, and then none for Son Lloris on the free kick. Do you think it's unfair, warranted, or what's your take on it?
I think it's totally and utterly unfair. In all honesty, if you look at it, he's. I'd like to see us, no matter who we are, age, size, whatever, not play for a while, fly to Korea, have jet lag, do that training they had to do, and then go play a game of football 24 hours after. I'd like to see how people would do after that. Listen, they're professional athletes. It's pre-season.
Absolutely.
I would rather they make all the errors in the world during pre-season and then come August the 6th, be ready to go. I've been using this analogy, and Bob is one that will know where I'm going with it. Me and Bob love a program called John Taffer Bar Rescue. where this guy takes on a bar that is doing terribly, and basically has a week to revamp it and sort it out. But one of the things he does during that is something called a stress test, where he lets the pub run as normal during a normal, like, busy evening, and he looks at what's going wrong so he knows how to fix it. That's all these games in Korea are. Get your fitness up, get your playing levels up. Do you really reckon Conte's going to play the next the games at Rangers and in Israel against Roma, where he's going to swap everyone every 45 minutes? No. These games in Korea are to go players to get the fitness up, get minutes under their belt, understand for the new players how the team plays. Rangers and Roma especially, he will play what he thinks is going to be mainly his first team.
Well, that'll be the team he expects to start at Southampton, won't it? The first 11 especially.
They're the games where you look and go, right, okay, now Dier looks a bit shaky. Yeah. It's a week before the season.
Pretty much right just to cut you off there, exactly what Tunde has said here. This point of preparation, there can't be any outstanding performer. Game was meant to start taking out the kinks in the joint and stretched legs. Next 2 games, we can start making assessment. I think absolutely spot on.
This game against Seville as well, playing in that heat, more training, whatever. And then you got to remember, there's Legley to play now. There's going to be Djed Spence to play now. Basuma and Foster were coming from COVID. You're talking about big players here, and this is absolutely nothing to worry about. These 2 games for me, if we lose 3-0 tomorrow to Sevilla, I don't care. If we win 3-0 against Sevilla tomorrow, I don't care. It's about getting the fit and used to Conte's system. That's all I want.
Yeah.
Against Rangers, I'll care. Against Roma, I'll most certainly care. And then obviously Southampton is the real deal.
Yeah, and Bob, your new best buddy, complained a lot after that goal. He should be made a member of the royal family. Eric Dier, that is a superb goal. That was Kane, Doherty, and him. Well, he didn't, but Kane and Doherty rated it on a video. I'm sure you saw it on Tottenham stuff. But what did you make of the game and the criticism of Dier? I mean, for the record, I think what Brian said there is absolutely spot on. Pretty much all of it. But what do you make of everything?
I know what we're saying. You know, it's only a friendly, etc., etc. But I think Conte will be bothered if we lose against Sevilla. I think he will be looking at performances. It's the whole point of playing a pre-season friendly. It's not going to be the make and break, and he's not going to be selecting his first team against Southampton based on how they performed against the K-League. But he will be looking. It's something what Kuva said last night. He'll be looking at players. He'll be looking at a shit Sanchez performance because he was shit. He'll be looking at mistakes by Dier because he didn't make a mistake. He did make a couple of mistakes. He'll be looking at Richarlison, how he fitted in. I think we might not take much out of the pre-season friendly, but I think Conte will. It's the whole point of having, but it won't have any or not much of an impact on his starting 11 against Southampton. Now, if the form continues, my biggest concern was Lloris. You know, I think it should be different for goalkeepers. I've never been a goalkeeper ever, but for me, it should be different. They should be a bit more on the ball, literally. The first shot wasn't a thunderbolt, flappy hands, and the second goal, it was Sarr and Sonny in the wall, Brad, and they moved out of the way. They seemed a bit slow getting to it. For me, that was the worst performance out of a pre-season.
I was very surprised at winning. Very surprised.
Yeah, and I think we need to look at that. But does it have an impact on the starting 11? No. But if you're telling me Conte's not looking at a game and not seeing individual performances, mistakes, the things that they've done well, then I think I suppose that's only natural.
Yeah, I mean, Steve, what do you make of it? I'm going to read some comments out. Obviously, me and Brian are in agreement with what Brian said. But Marlon has said, just these games, it's not, he said, not just these games. He sent a separate comment. It's not just these games of Dier. It's mistakes he made last season and the season before that he's not learned from. And we've got a couple
Can I just ask one thing there?
I don't think it's much of a...
Could someone tell me a mistake Dier made last season? Apart from the Newcastle goal, away to Newcastle where he went to head it and he came off his knee.
think Brighton as well, wasn't it?
Man United. Man United.
Right, shut up. It was a rhetorical question.
And let me read a few more. Kuva, I'm usually singing from the same page as Brian. In this case, don't agree. Conte is certainly looking at player ability, and he needs their ability to remain a basic level, which is what.
Just the caveat on that, I want to say Kuva's right. Kuva's bang on the money. But what I'm saying is, for me, I don't care. I'm sure Conte cares, but for me, these two games mean nothing to you. For Conte, 100% they do. So Kuva, we are thinking from the same brother.
From my point of view, that one is the first game. I'm not too fussed about it. If it keeps happening in pre-season, then I would be. Irish Hotspur, Dave, how you doing, buddy? Maybe only pre-season. These errors have been in Dier's and Sanchez's whole career. It's not just a pre-season issue.
Big up, Dave.
But yeah, it remains to be seen. But Steve, what did you make of the game? What did you make of the Dier mistakes? And this, do you think it's a time to worry, or is it's pre-season? Calm down.
To be honest, I didn't see much of the game. I only saw like a 2-minute synopsis of it. I just like the headlines, and I saw Dier's goal. You know, it was a captain's goal. We took the game by the scruff of the neck and scored a goal, didn't he? You know, I mean, not about the rest of the game mistakes, but I don't know. Let's face it. I mean, everyone's going to be a bit rusty, aren't they? They're not going to be that bothered. They're not going to be, too hungry, are they? You know, so you just got to give it a bit of time. They're all knackered. You know, it will happen. You know, people will start to pick up and play better and make less mistakes. I think we just got to leave people alone, because if we're on their backs from the start, it could be.
Yeah, I mean, two people, Brad, that we probably don't need to worry about. These two guys, 2 goals apiece. I'm amazed that Kane let Son take the penalty. Even more amazed that Kane gets a free kick after,
just that one.
You said 84 years for the Djed Spence thing. It's been longer than that since Kane's been trying to score a free kick. But obviously, Kane giving Son the penalty gives the hometown fans something to cheer about their guy scoring. But it's taken a match. It's taken a match. Worry about them.
Yeah. It's taking a match where we're leading. Was it 3-2 at the time? Where we're leading the game, and he's got Son playing in front of 61 or 63,000 of his home fans. It's taken to that stage for Kane to go, you take it, Sonny. So I don't think we're gonna see that ever again.
Oh, no. But what it's worth, though, in that last game against Norwich, I think it was, if we, 4-0 up, if we'd have got a penalty, I think he'd have given Son the ball. Maybe. It would have been a hat trick and the golden boot there. But yeah, I mean, them two.
Football's not about being nice, is it? Football's about being hard and horrible and winning games. So, you know, if you sort of start doing that, then
how ate we all?
But what was the original question?
There you go. How is everybody? But yeah, Romero was rusty as well. Didn't make the same mistakes made in their Spurs career, but everyone's rusty, I think. Apart from them front two, Brian, just goals with them too. And very important as well, I thought that Richarlison gets a fair few minutes playing with them as well, just to get, because he's going to be not crucial, but it's going to be very, very important that Richarlison gets up to speed with it because of this World Cup, and we all hope Kane goes all the way, plays every game. Richarlison's going to be needed, so very important that he played a big part in that as well. But Kane and Son, I mean, we don't need to say that much about them, but we will.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Son and Kane are just elite. There's no, doesn't matter, whenever you bring them on, no matter what game, if they come off the bench, they change the game. And it just went to show Harry Kane changed it within seconds, putting that cross in within seconds. The fact is, I think with Harry Kane, we just need to tell the opposing team's defenders to stand in a position so he can deflect the free kick off him, because that's the only way he tends to score a free kick. They need to set the wall that way and say, right, if the defender could just go here so I can hit it off your head and in, that's where it works. But I was a fan of, I liked Richarlison, but obviously I had Simeon and Bob going mad about how much they rated him.
What's what you say?
Now I'm sticking up for him, you idiot. And I was impressed. Listen, his passing was very sloppy at times, but his hold-up play was terrific. he had it. That part where he took the ball on and then Emerson just put it wide was a great bit of play. Just a couple of heavy touches, which again you're going to have in pre-season. He definitely brings something. He played across the front line, all three positions during that game, and he's still got Kulusevski to add to that.
Yeah.
That attacking. You look at Liverpool when they had Mane, Jota, Diaz, Mane, Salah, and Firmino. They had options. They had rotate that four is going to give us a lot of. Is going to cause mayhem for defenses next season.
And unless nothing happens, when people get tired, more are going to come on as well. Who will run at people when they're tired.
I think Mora might be gone. I think if we get a bid, he might be gone. I mean, I'm a fan of Mora's, but I think it's time now. You've lived off Ajax for a long time. You'll always go down as a legend. But as much as his dedication, his commitment, and his love for Tottenham, as I call him, he's the Brazilian Darren Huckabee. He just puts his head down and just hopes for the best. So I think we need to move on from him. But if he's still there, good. But I've got a feeling he might be one out the door.
Brazilian Ronnie Rosenthal.
That's it. Yeah.
I mean, Bob Kane.
Don't think to me about my Ronnie.
I mean, Bob Kane and son. The interesting thing I thought with a free kick is he took that like a penalty. His little running on the spot before he runs up, which normally he doesn't take that with a free kick. But obviously it was so close to the box that it was almost like a penalty, and then drilled it into the corner like he does with a penalty. But we were asked, a lot of people on Twitter after Son scored a brilliant free kick for career, asking for Son to take the free kicks instead of Kane now. Do you think Kane has just saved himself for a couple of games in the Premier League if we get a free kick because of that one?
I'm assuming we're looking past the massive deflection it took en route to the goal, but it was so desperate for free kicks. So it'd be interesting to see what the set piece specialist brings to the team. A lot of people saying, "Oh, look, as soon as he's coming, we've scored a free kick." It was going wide up until it took a free kick. No.
According to Ali Gold, he was involved in that free kick.
Sorry?
According to Ali Gold, he was involved in that free kick.
Oh, did he? What, the deflection as well? But,
he's very good.
Yeah, we'll
very
see.
Good
I think with my bestie Richie, in winning a lot of free kicks in and around the area, I think free kicks might be very pivotal this season. So it'd be interesting to see what he brings. With regards to Harry Kane and Sonny, I think they'll smash it out of the park. I think Harry Kane wants his golden boot back, and I think Sonny will. I think he's going to be going for the records. It wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if he broke the England record and got closer, obviously, to the records at Spurs. But he'll be wanting his golden boot. I think Sonny will go on another level from last season. And if the rumours are true, and they are very strong rumours, you know what my thoughts are with regards to rumours until they're holding up a shirt, but that Depay rumour is getting stronger and stronger, which, coming back to Sonny and Kane, the more competition they bring, I see, a lot of people saying, well, why, and I was one of them, what's the point of bringing a Depay in if you're getting rid of a Bergwijn, similar players? But I believe, if you look at it, stand back, look at the big picture, Depay brings a bit more competition than what a Bergwijn would. And the more competition, the better, because the likes of a Sonny and Kane, although definitive starters, it just probably bring out a bit more out of them to form a bit better. And a well-performing Harry Kane and Sonny is only good for Spurs.
Yeah. Well, Ben here has said he doesn't want Depay at all, and Ian has said there's rumours about Maddison, set-piece man, need to prove in his set-piece taker as well as Conte wanting a playmaker. That's a deal I would like to see happen. I'm not sure on the price there, though, Ian.
I think Brian's got some big thoughts on Maddison, don't you, Brian?
Okay, but before we go on to Maddison, let's go to Steve. Steve, in terms of Kane, Son, do you think Son getting the golden boot last year is one of the best things to happen, because now Kane will want it and there'll be friendly competition between them two on who gets the golden boot next year? Or do you just think it's all about the team? It doesn't matter who scores.
I mean, without that, friendly competition. I mean, the mere fact that Son took a penalty and Kane scored from a free kick. I mean, they're both going to set the cat amongst the pigeons. I can do that. No, I can do that. But actually, Harry Kane can't. so he can only take penalties, in my opinion. Yeah. I lost my friend. Taking a mickey, I lost my friend. But anyway,
what do you think of the rumours of Depay as well?
Sons. Sorry?
What do you think of the rumours of Depay? Like Bob's just mentioned, that strong rumours coming out about Memphis Depay.
Well, I don't know anything about him, to be honest. I mean, I rely on people like your good selves and Ali Gold and Chris Cowlin to let me know about these things. I'm sure Brad will give me a lowdown later on when I see him.
I don't know much about him. I know he's been playing for a fair bit, and we've been interested in him before. But I don't see him as a huge improvement on Stephen Bergwijn from what I've read about him. But
there you go.
Comment from Ben here about Madison. Never come to Tottenham after we messed him about twice, unless we pay stupid money. But Brian,
yeah,
have you got some breaking news for us?
Well, no, it's not breaking news. I've been very, very. I've been saying this for a while now. When it comes to, I love James Maddison as a player. Love him, and I would love him at Tottenham. I think he'd be perfect for us. He will not come to Tottenham for many reasons. So. First of all, during the Gareth Bale era, he put very, very derogatory tweets out about Tottenham Hotspur. Very, very worried. Very, very derogatory terms, especially at Gareth Bale. Then
is that just a case of him being young and stupid? He's
that it could be, but there's more. Funny enough, we tried to get him at Coventry when he left for Coventry to Norwich. Guess who screwed that deal up? Yes, we tried to get him from. We tried to get him from Norwich to Leicester. We messed it up again. Guess what happened there? It's not going to happen, and he will not. It's like when we went for Benteke one year, and he was almost joining us from Villa in his first season. Someone messed it up, and then when Liverpool got him, he said, "I wouldn't even entertain listening to Tottenham because of what they did to me." And you've got to look. He's going to cost. You got to remember, Leicester. Look what they did with Harry Maguire. They do not need the money. They will not. They'll say, like with Harry Maguire, 85 million or go away. 85 million or go away, and there will be a stupid fee on there. Like I would say, around the 65, 70 million pound mark. And I just don't see us paying it. But I have to get it wrong. He may have said these things. I would love him. I think he is a wonderful player. I think at Tottenham he could be absolutely incredible. He just won't come.
Over the Champions League, maybe?
No. Again, we'd have to pay stupid money, and I don't see us doing it for him.
Yeah, in terms of not stupid money, though, Bob, Kuva here, Depay at the rumoured 20 million, steal, in his opinion, always affects the game in and around the box, either goals for himself or creating havoc and others benefiting. Conte will deal with any ego. Like you say, it's genuine competition, isn't it, for that, front four now with three positions there. And obviously, if Mora left, that leaves a space open. But I'm assuming you would take him.
Yeah, I would. You know, he is an upgrade on Bergwijn. He has done it over a longer period. A lot of people look back at the Man United stint, and I think Brian mentioned it. I think Kuvama, he was young, he was inexperienced. Premier League probably took him by surprise. A club
who were in an absolute mess at that time. I think that was just after Ferguson left, wasn't it? Which they never recovered from.
Yeah. I think it'll bring a bit more quality. A lot of people question his mentality, his ego, and like Kuva said, you know, there's no way Conte would consider bringing a Depay if he thought he couldn't handle the ego. Whatever Conte wants, Conte gets, not just off the field but on the field, on the pitch as well with any of his players. So yeah, I wouldn't mind him seeing. And it makes sense if we are losing Lucas. If we're not, interesting.
Well, 20 million isn't really that much money, is it? I mean, Steve, Ian
not
here
to you,
said...
Chris. No, not to you. No.
Well, I'm saving on haircuts these days. I've got my own clippers. But yeah, Steve, Ian has said here, if not Maddison and James Ward-Prowse need English and a playmaker, it's not our money and cost of. It's not our money, and most of that 100 million is still there. I think Southampton quoted 70 million for James Ward-Prowse a month or two ago, but out of the two, Maddison or James Ward-Prowse for you, or do you not think we need any?
Is that myself?
Steve.
Oh, right, sorry. Yeah, I'll tell you what, James Ward-Prowse, I've always quite liked him, you know, but when I saw him play for England, I don't think it worked for me. It didn't work. I mean, he's industrious. When we've got the players we've got, I don't need him. I don't.
Well, I honestly thought we'd get Ericsson, but if we're going to get Ericsson, we'd have him by now, free and everything like that. But yeah, Brad, do you think we need? I've been calling out for playmaker for ages, and even more so now because of these 5 subs.
Oh, yeah,
you need plans B, C, D, and all
do.
of that stuff, and a playmaker would really sort that out.
Do.
Ericsson is obviously the obvious one because he's completely free, money's no issue. Madison, James,
Conte played Ericsson in a 3-5-2, didn't he, at Inter? So yeah, no, I think it just gives us an extra option. I mean, people used to complain about Pochettino not having a plan B, but you know, with that, yeah, you can have a plan B, C, D, whatever. But no, I think, yeah, we definitely need another. I mean, we saw how we struggled against the defensive teams last season, like Brighton and that, and Burnley. So you need that player to unlock a defence, and we had it with Ericsson. And going back to a blaster in the past, with Ericsson, you saw the best of Dele Alli. So you know, with a playmaker, you might see other players other than Kane and so on coming into the analysis for scoring goals. So yeah, I think we definitely need a player. And it's all about squads now, you know. It's this thing about he won't come because he won't be getting first team football. No, it's not about that anymore. It's about squads, and that's what we appear to be doing at the moment is building a squad. So yeah, no, I think definitely like to see a playmaker. I do agree with Brian. Maddison's as a top player. Ward-Prowse probably not as creative, but a decent free kick player. And obviously Ericsson because of that Premiership. But I mean, Ericsson hasn't actually been officially holding the shirt yet for Man United, so you do wonder.
Ulster Spurs here. Don't think we need a cam. Kane and Kula can play that role. Our main targets now should be another quality centre back. And here you go, Brian. Danny in the chat. Oh, sorry, Benji. Yeah, how you doing, Danny?
I'll teach you that, Steve, later, that song.
But yeah, Brian, yeah. Who am I talking about? You've already said, I'm assuming you want Maddison over Ward-Prowse and Ericsson if all 3 were available.
I love James Ward-Prowse. I love him. I love him. And I think it's mainly because of, as Brad said, he's a decent set-piece taker. I'd like to elevate that to the world's best set-piece taker.
He's level kind of with Beckham, isn't he? With in terms of I think goals from free kicks in the Premier League. I think he's well up there, isn't he, with Beckham?
Yeah. Look, it depends what you're looking for in creativity. James Maddison is more that will get involved with play, get like a Dele Alli kind of. He'll make the late runs. He'll get there and add that creativity. Where James Ward-Prowse is like one of the quarterbacks, isn't he? That will just spread the play from, and it depends what kind of set piece player you want. Player you want, because they're both very good at set pieces. James Ward-Prowse, I'd say, is better at set pieces, but I think Maddison brings more to his game than Ward-Prowse. So it's really hard for me because I'm a real big fan of James Ward-Prowse, but I think to suit our game more, I think James Maddison. It's kind of like, the talk we had about Richarlison and Jesus, and it was like, well, Jesus is better suited for Arsenal, Richarlison is better suited for us. I think it's kind of that, and I think if I had to, as much as I love James Ward-Prowse, I would say James Maddison's play and what he brings would be more beneficial to us than Ward-Prowse, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean,
get both.
Yeah, why not? We got.
Bob, do you think we need a cam? I complain a lot. I said if we don't get a creative midfielder, Kane will end up playing a deeper role again, which means less goals. But I speculated that Richarlison can play Kane's position. Kane can then drop deep. Obviously, that means someone's going to drop out because you'll still have Son and Kulusevski there. But Kane has obviously dropped deep. But less goals, I'm not saying he's this good, but Lionel Messi played in that kind of deep role and it didn't do his goal tally any harm. I'm not saying Kane is anywhere near that level, but in terms of effectiveness, he could be. Do you think we need a creative midfielder, or do you think it will be like I'm complaining a lot, as said there, Kane will drop deeper?
100% need a cam, in my opinion. I mean, there's a lot of, I heard about, Sonny can play through the middle. We don't need a striker. He's the best left winger in the world. Why change him? Why put him away because of our lack of ability to find a bit of strength? Oh, Kane can go into midfield. He's the best number 9 in the world. Why lose that effectiveness up front just because we can't get the recruitment right? Parachi's been brought in for a reason. If he can't see him, I think it's down to Conte as well, that he can't see that we need options. It's not about fitting into we don't need a captain because it doesn't fit into Conte's system. We need options. We always need options. We need that player who can come on and make a difference. I believe Basuma has got a cam inside him. Oh, yeah. But I reckon there is an attacking midfield ability in him. But for me, ideally, I was anti-Eriksen before Basuma. Once Basuma came in, I would have quite happily liked an Eriksen. But there's absolutely no reason why we shouldn't get an attacking midfielder in. Harry Kane coming deep to fill that position should not be an option. He'll do that naturally anyway. He shouldn't be the centre.
What do you make of our midfield? I haven't really spoken to you since we signed Basuma, but we've now got Højbjerg, Bentancur, Skip will be back, and Basuma. For me, Basuma can do everything in midfield. Højbjerg can't necessarily do everything in midfield. I think Basuma can. I think he can do absolutely everything. So he could become our playmaker. He might not. I think there was evidence last season of Skip playing long 50-yard balls, and so don't know. That's maybe a training thing, but that's been prepared for him. And you're training to become more of a playmaker than a holding midfielder. Huge strength in depth in that midfield now. How do you think they'll fit, or do you think it'll be 2 lots of 2, and then 2 will be for Premier League, 2 will be for Champions League, and then the others fit around? Or do you think it'll be 2 places up for grabs, guys? Who wants it?
Yeah, I think it'll be simple as that. Who fits into that system? If Skip wasn't injured, and who knows how that would have fitted in. I mean, at least we've got the options, Chris. We've got, if we start with a Bentancur and Højbjerg, it's good to turn around and see a Skip and Basuma as an option rather than a Dele Alli, Lo Celso and Dembele. So, it's also, I believe, and I know it's a big statement, I believe Basuma will be Yaya Toure-esque for Spurs. I really do. I think it's box to box. And don't be surprised if he gets, not double figures, but he does get to that near double figure goals for us this season. I think he's got a shot on him. Well, I understand he plays for that in that defensive midfield role for Brighton. He marked Kane out the game, and I think that really impressed Conte and the recruitment team there. So he can do a job in midfield, but one thing that Conte will work on is stamina, and a Basuma full of stamina, who naturally is a box-to-box player. I think we've got a player and a half, man. And I think he could potentially be Yaya Toure-esque for us.
Yeah. And Steve, in terms of sorry, I'm just trying to unmute your mic. I can't. No, Steve's muted himself. In terms of our transfer window so far, how would you rate it? And do you think any more will be coming in before the start of the season? And if so, who do you think? What positions do you think they'll be? Are you there, Steve?
He's gobsmacked by the question, mate.
Or I was waffling so much he doesn't understand a word of what I was saying. I'm not sure Steve's there, but we'll move on.
That was a long day.
In terms of the game, the pre-season game, there's a few players there that I think are potentially fighting for their chance at Spurs. Hill, Tanganga. I missed out Sarr on here as well. He played. Or do you think that's what it is, fighting for places? Or do you think this is put yourself in the shop window, I want you on loan next season?
Who are you asking?
Brad, we'll start.
Let's all go quiet just to piss Chris off.
Well, you say that. I've had issues with my computer freezing up before, so when you're doing that...
I really, and I don't know whether it's going to happen, but I really think there's a player in Brian Gill. Is he suited for the Premiership? That's the big question. I think he's going to. I think any other league in with maybe in Europe, I think he's going to become a really, really good player. Whether he can play in the Premiership or, for that matter, say the Bundesliga, which is a similar sort of physical standard. But I think there's a decent player there now.
Yeah,
it depends on how Tottenham handle them. They have to, if they're going to loan Bryan Hill, he's got to go to a Premiership club or a Championship club, or as I said, the Bundesliga. But I think there's a player there. Tanganga, his early days, he was very, very good. But he had a lot of injuries, so it's going to take him a while to get back to. So I think a loan for him, I think, would be a good one. And the other one, well, Papa Matasar, I've only seen him play that one friendly in half a game, so I can't really comment on him. But I think Bryan Hill, I think there's a player there, but whether he's going to get many games at Tottenham this season, I don't know. But I'd like to see him maybe loaned out to a Championship team or a Premier League team.
Yeah, I would as well. No, not Spain. Yeah. It's not going to do it.
No, it's pointless. It's pointless. Tanganga, I don't know. I really don't know with Tanganga. Yeah, I'll leave that one up to Conte.
Yeah. Come back to Steve. Are you there, Steve? No. Okay.
It's giving Ellie.
Brian, in terms of those three players
wrong.
there.
Sorry, Steve.
In terms of those three players, Brian, do you think they're playing for their futures at the club or in the shop window? And also as well, I want to come to you as well. I know you're a huge fan of Alfie Devine, who's been doing wonders for the under-19s. Dane Scarlett as well, also a World Cup winner.
Parrott.
Yeah, yes. We'll come to you on that one, Brad, since you brought it up, making it sound like I know what I'm doing. But yeah, in terms of those three players that I already mentioned, and then there's two, Devine and Scarlett. I mean, with Richarlison now, there is no reason for me that Scarlett can't go alone, other than the English quota for the Champions League, maybe, and the homegrown talent as well. But yeah, those five players. What do you make of them?
I'll deal with the three you mentioned first of all, so I get longer to speak about my boy Alfie. So I'm just waiting for Alfie to get a Twitter, because then I'm going to bombard him and hopefully get a response like Bob did from Richarlison.
Don't get bad.
But when it came to it, I think the three of them need to go out on loan, but to English clubs. All three of them to English clubs, and have a season where you get first team games in the desired position Conte wants you to play or sees you in, and then you come back next year and you're part of the plans. I think they all need to be England. None of this go back to Spain or go back to France or go to Italy for Tanganga. It needs to be England for me. As for Alfie Devine, he will go on loan. It's been said. I mean, I speak about him a hell of a lot. Alistair Gold's even spoken about it when he speaks about him and says, look, he's played in the under-23s and he's outgrown the under-23s already. He needs...
He's 18, isn't he?
He's 18 on August the 1st. Not that I stalked him or anything like that.
And he's planning to have his party at so-and-so, Brian's...
Yeah, exactly. I'm flying back for it. I'm just quickly nipping in and nipping out. But no, he's going out on loan. Hopefully, so he can't go to a Championship team yet. He needs to go to League One or League Two and get a year's football under his belt. This kid is going to be I've said it before, he's not just going to be an English superstar. He is going to be a world superstar. A world superstar. He is going to be that big. He needs to go out on loan. We see he played a little bit for Marine, but even in the under 19s, you saw if people watched him and saw what he was doing, he's phenomenal. He needs a loan. Dane Scarlett, again, we couldn't send him on loan last season because he was too young, but this year he can go on loan.
Carl Simpson here, Devine and Scarlett out on loan for me. How you doing, Carl? Scarlett definitely.
They need. I mean, even when Scarlett played, we've spoken about this before. When Scarlett did play for Tottenham last season in the Conference League, he had no Son or Kane up against him. It was like, there you go, you get some first team minutes, spend for yourself. And that's what he needed to have class around him. He needs to go into a league. He's tearing it up at youth level, tearing it up for goals. He needs to go get real football under his belt. The only reason I'd want to keep him is if Jermaine Defoe does do his coaching badge at Spurs. Then I would be
come out of retirement.
No, then what I would want. Then I would
further down the pecking order, Dave.
No, what I would want from there then is he stay with Defoe for 6 months and then January go out on loan. because what he could learn off of Jermaine Defoe is invaluable.
Yeah.
But Alfie Devine needs to go out on a loan, and I will be monitoring that. That team will become my second team for the season, because I'll try and watch as many of their games as possible. Because he is really, and I will continue to say this guy will be a Tottenham. He's going to go down as a Tottenham legend. That's as far as I'll go.
Yeah. I think with Defoe there, I'd still prefer Scarlett to go out on loan, but then the club give not an assignment to Defoe, but keep an eye on him and then talk to him every day. Watch all of his games. Oh, Dane, you could improve on this. You could do this, because then he's still getting game time and still learning from Defoe. But obviously, he won't be learning from Defoe in training.
Exactly. That's
probably your point. But yeah, and
yeah.
Yeah, in terms of Spence, just quickly, Hotspur Huddle, how you doing, buddy? Ward said that he was shy. Now he plays in Lily White. The comment that I heard, he said...
Copyright infringement, no do-do-dos. There's only one.
The comment that I heard from Warnock was he's either going to be non-league or Premier League. I'm assuming that City's got to make a decision on where he wants to go, is how I read that. But I didn't hear the comment. I just heard it quoted. But yeah, Bob, in terms of those three players, Sarr, Tanganga and Hill, what do you make of those in this pre-season? Is there a chance to impress Conte and get in the first team, or is it putting in the shop window? And then, yeah, Scarlett and Devine, what do you want to see happen with them?
Yeah, with regards to Scarlett and Devine, I'm not going to lie, I don't watch the young boys at Tottenham the way Brian does. But it's
Jesus.
Bloody hell. Bloody hell. What have you done here?
Well, that's definitely not going to be the 1 minute preview for Twitter. I'll tell you that.
I don't have the knowledge of the young boys at Spurs the way Brian does. But
slightly better.
I'm making it worse.
I believe the children are our future.
I'll make it easy. Divine loan for me, Scarlett loan. With regards to Tanganga, Hill, and Sarr, it depends on how they perform in pre-seasons. But Gil had an okayish first half. It's up to him. It's up to the boys how well they do in pre-season. If they can make a mark, if they show Conte something, they might be in contention. But the way where I want to be, where we are, homegrown quota, etc., we can talk about that. But we should be looking bigger than that. If Hill, Tanganga, or Sarr do perform and do very, very well in pre-season, then yes, of course, they could be in contention to be part of the squad. But it's up to them. And I'm sure Conte's told them that. Show me what you're made of, and if you play well, you're in there. And I think a part of Hill's performance in that first half probably said that he is trying to show what he's made of. And then it's up
it'd be nice to see him have a good game against Rangers, wouldn't it? Really, because that's going to be
that's it. It's got to be consistent. Yeah. So let's see. And I think Brian said earlier, by the Rangers game, certainly the Roma game, we'll know what the squad's going to be, essentially. And if Hill's on the subs bench and comes on for a few minutes, or a Sarr or a Tanganga, then that'll be a big sign of who of those are likely to be in that squad and who's likely to be considered on the transfer list or loan.
Yeah, I'd like to see them get their chance in the first team after they impress, because that says to the whole squad, if you impress, you've got a chance. If you play absolute wonders in pre-season, you're still shipped out. It doesn't really give too great an incentive. But Brad, what are your thoughts on all five of them? And a player I've just thought of. I'm not going to get away with that, am I? Troy Parrott.
Troy Parrott. Yeah.
In the training session where everyone was throwing up, he was apparently top of the pile in that one. He had a training session just before when Kane and all of those guys on holiday. I think he had a brilliant loan deal. Not a massive amount of goals, but really impressed. I think at MK Dons. Do you see him being the third kind of striker there behind who will be now Kane and Richarlison?
I guess you'd have to say with Troy Parrott, he's probably slightly ahead of Scarlett in the fact that he's had a loan. He's had 2 loan seasons, and from all accounts, his loan at MK Dons was very good. So I'd like to see Scarlett go out on loan to get game time. But I think Troy Parrott, if he proves himself in these pre-seasons, I think it'd be pretty good to have him around the first team. That said, little caveat to that is that a certain Mr. Harry Kane was loaned out to 3 or 4 teams, wasn't he, before he started making it? So Troy Parrott's still only very young. I mean, he's older than Scarlett, but he's still young, so there's still time. It's not like there's a rush to get him ready. But yeah, he had a good pre-season, a good season with MK Dons by all accounts. So yeah, let's see him go in this next couple of games, see how he plays.
There's talk here from Carl that he could be going to Sunderland on loan, which Jack Clark's gone back to Sunderland. Never really made it for Spurs, but good luck to him there. But yeah, Troy Parrott would be very interesting. I think there's a talent there as well.
Yeah. I mean, he was the next big thing, wasn't he? I mean, comparing him with who's that other guy we used to have? It's going to be the Irish Rooney. He got injured, didn't he? Done his knee in. He's about 30 now. His career ended, but he.
Oh yeah, I know you're talking about, but I can't remember his name.
Yeah. He was like the Irish Rooney, and Parrott was like the next one, off that sort of line that's going to be the next sort of Irish Rooney or Irish decent.
Who was that? Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah,
Harrison. No, not Harrison.
No.
Oh, Coulthurst.
No, 1 second.
No.
Okay.
I'll try and find the name. Give me a minute.
While Brian's looking at that, Bob, those are the players we want to see go on loan or get a chance. Ndombele. He hasn't gone. No one seems to want him. Lo Celso, we haven't seen anything with him being,
Dixon, that's it.
Talks with Villarreal. We're going to make a bid for him. What do you see happening with them two? Ndombele is a really odd one. He's got all the talent in the world. But I keep saying it. Mickey Hazard said on Tottenham Away months ago, you can have all the talent in the world, but attitude is one thing you can't teach.
That's it.
What do you see happening with them two guys?
Yeah, I mean, ability-wise, I've said this numerous times. I think
Dixon.
That's right. Yeah.
Well
done, Carl.
Thank you, Carl.
He pisses all over Paul Pogba when it comes to ability. I really doesn't. And it's a shame because his mental side sorted. He could become one of the best midfielders in the world, but he just, and I've personally have run out of patience. The sooner he's out the door, the better. There's a reason why he's not on the tour, despite him putting out 10-second compilations of him working hard.
I mean, it could also be if he was on that training session, he'd still be on the pitch now, lying down.
Yeah. I think the sooner we get him out the door, we're clearly going to make a loss on him.
Yeah, they've got to take a loss.
I don't think loan's going to work because wherever he goes, he'll be a year taken up from his contract and he'll be cheaper. But and who's going to chip in with his wages? So sell him on the cheap, put the wages off. Take the wages off the expenses, but I think it's more about the mindset it brings to the squad. Yeah, there's no place for it under.
Well, there's no coming back after that Morecambe game, is there? Really?
I wouldn't know, mate. I was in a coma.
Oh yeah.
And you still put more effort on the pitch than Ndombele did in that game.
Yeah, but I mean, he wouldn't. The fans wouldn't be behind him either, would he? When he came to play for Tottenham, you don't want that. And
well, you say that if he puts effort in and willingly shows and demonstrates effort, then fans
every season, he's putting a lot more effort in now. No, he's it's such a shame. He's a very talented player, skill wise. He's not a Premiership player. Let's be frank. He's not a Premiership player. Some talented players won't play in the Premiership. He's not a Premiership player, and he needs to go. I did read the other day on one of the feeds that AC Milan were interested. So who knows? But we got to take a loss on him. Lo Celso is slightly different in the fact that Villarreal always had a good season with them. So was it Villarreal? Whoever he played. So that's good. And again,
no bids come in yet, though, has it? You'd have thought, really good. Well, so that we want him in our squad next season.
Isn't there still a player that we were looking at buying?
Raul Torres.
Yeah. So maybe that's still sort of in the fire.
I think Lo Celso is going to be used as a make weight with any player we try to get in Spain. If Jules Koundé comes up, but getting back to Ndombele, in all honesty, I'd Serge Aurier him. I'd say, right, this is the amount of time you got on your contract. We're not paying you the full amount. How much is it going to come to an agreement? and just get him out the door.
Yeah.
I don't want him anywhere near any of the. I don't want him training with the under 23s because his attitude will rub off on them.
Yeah.
A lot of people they'll go, oh, we're seeing what not to do, but I don't think they'll see it that way. They'll just say, oh, look, he's on 200 grand a week, and look, I don't want him anywhere near the club. You've had too many chances, and Bob and I even said ages ago that we've seen him do things on the ball that we hadn't seen since Gaza. That's the technical ability.
That's the shame of it, though, isn't it? He's got all that ability in the world and just no attitude to
exactly
use that.
Exactly. And look, we let this fester with Dele Alli, and look how bad it got. Don't do it again. Just pay him and if you can't get someone to take his wages or buy him or take a hit, get him out. Then it's his responsibility to look at it and say, oh, I used to be a Premiership footballer, now I've got nothing. All right, we'll have a lot of money, but then it's his problem, not ours.
Yeah, I mean,
get him out.
Carla said here we should be offering Ndombele to any club in Europe or include him in any player we want swap deal. The issue with that is people don't want him. So in terms of value there, we say, oh, we'll swap you this player for that player. They're being done there because we're getting a good player and they're getting a player who just doesn't care. But Ian has said, Spurs Express reporting more talks next week between us and Milan regarding Tanganga. Looks like a permanent deal. That's a shame, but I'm not sure he's good enough, Tanganga.
Tanganga's got an Italian agent, isn't he, I think?
Oh, is he?
Yeah, I think
I complained a lot at THFC. Don't be surprised if Levy brings Ndombele to court because the guy's been here 3 years, still can't get 100% fit. And he would love Pau Torres.
Or she. We don't know if it's he.
They.
You need to confirm it. I complain a lot. I'm sure he or she's been drinking as the show's been going on because they seem to be getting.
I was on Hotspur Hood on Monday and they were commenting quite a lot. Brilliant for streams, absolutely brilliant, and commenting on all the things we were talking about and other things as well. That's what the comments are there for. A lot of comments today, which is brilliant. 26 people watching, which is fantastic as well. Please hit that like and subscribe if you haven't already.
I think Chris, when Ndombele played for us and he completed 90 minutes, we were rejoicing. We were celebrating. I think it says it all.
Yeah. It's just a real shame. He reminded me so much of Dembele, but Dembele had such a top-notch attitude as well as that ability, which made him so much of a better player. But he's essentially Ndombele, a playground footballer, isn't he? You know, you do all
better than
you remember like
FIFA. You like that? That's a good one. Playground.
Remember the games FIFA Street? He reminds me of that, just street football, just playing like that rather than actual FIFA. But in terms of the Rangers game, Bob, before we kind of wrap up, that's our next friendly. Team
after Sevilla. Seville tomorrow.
Someone who's got 25 people watching should be really doing his research and not relying on his guests to talk about Troy Parrott and get that involved. But Sevilla, that's in Korea, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right.
Excellent.
No, Jamaica.
No, I think if we win that, if we win that game,
I'm back in the game.
I do believe if we win that game, we add to our Aldi Cup as another trophy. So,
But what do you think the team will be for that? Do you think it will be fairly similar to Team K League? You know, I think there were 7 changes at halftime in Team K League. What you expect from a friendly, certainly watching England anyway. Do you think it will be similar to that? And again, fighting for your place, fighting for your place in the team for the start of the season, or just get your fitness up, everyone gets a game because you've been out of action for a month, 2 months?
Yeah, I think Lloris was in the pre-match press conference, so I think he'll start, and Conte's already confirmed that Sonny will start, so there's 2 changes we'll definitely see. But yeah, I think he'll probably start with the majority of the team that was in the second half, in the first half. So don't be surprised to see a Sonny, Kane, and hopefully, I'll wait for a text from my bestie Richie to confirm if he's starting or not. But at this time of moment,
you're the one in the know now, Bob. You're in there with the team, so we want team news before it happens. We want training stories.
He's going to be substitute tomorrow. He's just told me. So there you go, exclusive. He
just,
will be
just
on the
quickly,
substance.
Ellie in the chat. How you doing, Ellie? Your question:
Ellie.
we've signed 2-3 more signings to come, and who would you like to sign? We chatted about this earlier on. So if you go back when this finishes live and watch from the start, that's our discussion on that one. But yeah, sorry.
Yeah, your fault for coming late, Elliot. Are you? Yeah, don't be surprised if we start with majority of the team who finished the game. But just want to see improvement. Just want to see players playing at the top a bit more of their top of their ability, and Sevilla will bring a harder game.
Yeah.
Than what
That's what we need, isn't it, Brad? Team K League fine, and we go there for the fans there, and we've got a huge fan presence, mainly because of Son in career. So it's giving something to those fans, and playing their top team. But you want to be playing teams that are going to challenge you as well.
Yeah.
Rangers Rangers are in the Champions League next year as well.
Yeah,
they're certainly in the Europa League, if not. So that will be a challenge as well at Ibrox, which Ian told me on my show last week, I think it was, there were no friendlies in Scotland. There were no friendlies at Ibrox. So that will be the good atmosphere that we want as well. What do you want to see tomorrow for the next game? Less mistakes for me, as I say. The mistakes are part and parcel of pre-season, but you obviously want to see them reduced.
I'm just really disappointed that Basuma got COVID and Perisic is not fit. So I'd like to see those two players. Saw Richarlison obviously in the game the other day. Saw a bit of. I'd like to see Pape Matastar start, but I think you'll see the team that played in the second half will probably start the first half. Seville, I'm not sure where they are in their pre-season, but I'm sure they'll give us a sterner test than the K League did. But let's face it, the K League. I mean, there were a few tackles flying in there, so which is what you want. You want it as close to a proper game as possible. But I think there'll be a more difficult game. And then Rangers at Ibrox. I was toying with the idea of going up to that game, but I never got round to it. But that'll be a good game. And if they are in the Champions League, I'd love to draw them in the Champions League. I've always said that. I've always wanted to draw over Rangers or Celtic in the Champions League if they've been in it. But and then of course Roma in Israel, Mourinho will be there wanting to prove a point as much as you can in a friendly. So I think that'll be a pretty feisty game. So I think the next three games. They are friendlies, but I think they could test a few. Test us in.
That's what you want as well.
That's what you want. You want that. You want us to be ready to hit the ground running when we play Southampton. But
Ian said Rangers have one qualifier to get in the Champions League.
Right. Well, hope they get in. Hope we get them.
Yeah, and we'll come to Brian on this as well, and then we'll come on to this, Carl, but I'll read it out quickly. It's gone very quiet on Winks. Do we know where he's going? Saw Valencia were interested this morning. But in terms of the friendlies, Brian, the next one, Sevilla, what are you hoping to see in that one?
I think like Brad, but I think we'll see the second half team start the first half this time. Maybe I think. Sorry, let me rephrase that. I think there'll be more of the second half team that will play. He might put in a few more that you think from the first half that might be in his first team plans. Obviously, the game is going to be upper level. No offense to the K League team. Sevilla are a different animal completely, and they'll both be getting ready for the grueling season we've got. So I reckon it'll be a lot more entertaining, as in the style of football. It won't be as crazy in goals, I don't think. No. But I think we'll see more of Harvey White, which I'm looking forward to.
He's another one who either needs to start playing or go on loan, one of the two.
I want to see more of Ollie Skip after his injury. I want to see more of Matt Doherty after his injury, and get their minutes and build the fitness up. But I'm looking forward to the game. But I think it's going to be a more second halfers starting the first half with a few first halfers in there as well. So I reckon it'll be a mix between the two. Yeah.
And Bob, as Carl said there with Winks, do you see him leaving? I did have the feeling of English, so he won't be going to fill our quota. But with those four that we've got in midfield, he ain't going to get a game, is he?
He's surplus to requirements, isn't he? And unfortunately, the quality that we're bringing in is way above what Winks brings to the team. Wherever he goes, though, I wish him all the best. He is one of our own. He is.
I don't think there's any question that he puts effort in. It's just unfortunately
that's it. His best, unfortunately, isn't good enough. It hasn't been good enough for a few seasons, and it certainly isn't good enough in a Conte team. So I wish him all the best, onwards and upwards, and I hope he goes to. Hey, Everton wouldn't be a bad move. They seem to be buying all our world-class players.
I mean, Brad, we've been linked with Anthony Gordon from Everton as well. Do you see a swap deal going on there? The issue that Everton have, which is why Winks wasn't used in a swap deal with Richarlison, is their money situation. I think they've broke financial fair play, so they need to recoup money. So swap deal doesn't do anything. That's why they had to get 60 million from Richarlison. But do you see any kind of swap deal with Everton or money plus Winks for? Anthony?
we'd have to give them Winks plus money. I don't think you can swap the two.
Even if it was just Winks, we'd have to give him money. So
yeah.
Or if not Everton, where do you see him going, or do you think we'll keep him?
I thought, and this is not my idea, but I heard somewhere about Fulham might be a good destination for him. He's still in London; they're in the Premiership. I think he could do well there.
They just lost Carvalho. He's been forward thinking than Winks, but in the midfield. But...
The Tortoise is a bit more forward-thinking than Winks.
No need to ask Brian whether he wants Winks to go or not, but where do you think he'll go?
Right, so I'll say something now. One of the people in my Levy Out group actually know Harry Winks. Actually knows him and speaks to him. So what I will say is a few weeks ago when I was still back in London and around the Richarlison deal, he spoke to, and apparently Harry Winks has done all his media work for Everton. Apparently the interviews, the holding the shirt, all that is done. It's just sorting the deal out. Now, Wolves have now gone in for this. Everton have now gone in for a player that I love at Wolves, like Gibbs White, who I think is a star in the making. So I don't know if it's put the kibosh on it, but what I do know is Everton was on track and that part's been done. So it was just trying to get the deal done. Listen, he needs to go. And
for his own sake rather than just ours, I think. Because he ain't getting
like Bob say, he's one of our own. I wish him well. But the thing is, right now, his ceiling is here, and Tottenham Hotspur's ceiling is here right now. And that's through no fault of his own. He's just not good enough to play for Tottenham Hotspur. And where we're going, and that's, you know what? Sometimes we all have jobs and we don't hit the targets. You go, you find another job, you do well. I'm sure in another team he will do well. He's just not ready for Tottenham, or he's just not good enough for Tottenham anymore. And wish him well, but I hope he goes. But I don't know if this Gibbs White deal with Wolves has put the kibosh on Winks to Everton.
Yeah, I mean, complaining a lot. THFC as Southampton or Fulham would be good, but. And Ian has also heard Everton has to fund Delhi in some shape or form that can be used with leverage for Gordon. But I mean, Everton's big problem is financial fair play, and they can't afford to spend any money. Getting rid of players, they have to get money for them. But listen, there's still quite a long way to go before the end of the transfer window. So there'll be more deals. I'm certainly people going out. We've made 6 signings and only sold one person. So that's a +5. The squad we had last year, there would have been people surplus to requirements. We've got an extra 5 there, so I'm sure people will be going. And I would think there probably will be at least one more coming in after the Djed Spence, so 2 more coming in. But yeah, that remains to be seen. And then it's all about pre-season again, starting with Sevilla in Korea. I knew that. I was only testing it. But yeah, and we pretty much reached the end. There's not really anything else to talk about other than what we already have talked about. But yeah, been a great show. A lot of people watching. I complain a lot. THFC in the comments has liked and subscribed. Thank you so much for that. Please, everyone else do that as well. Thanks for everybody for the comments. One last one from Ellie. Tanganga's really bad injuries have held his development back. So he was taken to South Korea. My feeling is Conte wants to assess him to see if he can cut the mustard or not in his eyes. It's a shame, but yeah, that could be the case. But he had that brilliant game against Liverpool, and then kind of a couple of games after that, and then kind of went back. But thanks to Steve for coming on as well. I think he had technical issues. So
yeah, I'll have a chat with him later.
Yeah. Tell him what he was doing. What were you playing at leaving? But yeah, thanks to 3 of my guests here, Brad, Brian and Bob. As you know, you should know, they've all got YouTube channels, all in the description. Brad, Blue Sofa Songs, absolutely superb channel. Every Friday, I think, is it?
Thank you, Chris. Yeah, I'm trying to get them on every Friday. So there's another one going on today around about 5:00. So I'll have 6 songs on there. I'll have to start recording a few more songs next week to get them on once a week. But I have got other songs to do. and it's just basically it's work in progress. My first attempt at actual songwriting with music as well as lyrics. They're just my thoughts and feelings and observations of things, really. And it's, as I say, it's work in progress. So hopefully I'll get better as I go on. And hopefully people will get something out of it. If you get something out of it, that's great. So, Blue Sofa Songs. If you search for that on YouTube, you'll find it. With me, Brad Matthews, and, of course, the Blue Sofa. In fact, the one that's gone on today was done in Australia. And it wasn't technically a blue sofa, but it looks bluish. So I haven't quite got away from the blue sofa. But that's one we did in Australia with another guitarist who can actually play guitar. So I'll give him a big shout out in the comment. So, but please click like and subscribe.
Excellent, and make sure tonight you go onto Brad's channel, or don't do that. Hit the subscribe and the notification bell, because then you don't need to.
If you click on it and you think, oh, it's not that good, just mute it, let the song play out, because that helps the algorithms if you play the whole song. So, and
in all your descriptions, you put the lyrics on as well. So
the lyrics are in the description, apart from the one that's gone on tonight because it's instrumental. So.
Just very quickly as well, Bob asked me to do this. Ben Kaufman, the Ben's the Coffee Company channel show, 3:30. So hour and a quarter. If you go into the comments, that's the comments there. I'll stick that on the description as well.
He's one sub away from hitting 200, so that's the mission. That's the mission, Chris.
So make sure you go watch that. I'll put that in the description. It's not there at the moment, so if you give me 20 minutes or so, it'll be on there before past. And that's no problem, Ben. Thanks so much for watching and getting in the comments as well. Brian, you've got a channel. It's Tottenham on something. Tottenham on tour.
Jesus Christ! I really thought you'd forgotten. Jesus,
it's on the screen, Brian. I can forget where we're playing in Korea and Troy Parrott, but I can read.
Good point.
Yeah. So, Brian. Sorry, I'm Tottenham on tour. So, go from strength to strength.
Yeah, we're going live today at 6 p.m. UK time, 1 p.m. Toronto time with another Ask Us Anything. There's loads of new stuff coming from us in the coming season. Straight out of Conte is going to be back whenever Conte speaks. Cheers, brother. Ask Us Anything. There's a match day content, different shows that are coming up. It's going to be a big year for Tottenham on tour. So, go over there and subscribe if you like. Myself, Brian Ireland, Danny Kiriakou, and give us a shout.
Excellent.
There's even a travel log from Niagara Falls on one of the older shows.
Yes, there is indeed. And Brad Matthews is there. I am saying Brad Matthews. I can't say his name without saying his surname. It's like Brad Matthews. Brad Matthews was with me.
You better hope Brad's the music doesn't go to his head and he turns into Madonna. He's just Brad from now on. Otherwise, you'll be a bit stumped. But Ben Kaufman here, one away from 200, like Bob said. So make sure you go over to that channel at 3:30. Hit the subscribe.
Or now. Anyone that hasn't subscribed.
In preparation. In case, do that now. Go on there, subscribe now. Notification bell in case something goes wrong with my computer. I can't put the link on. Bob, finally. Well, you've done your job for you there. Taking the easy way out. In the Wall, Saturdays, 10:45. Bob Spur TV. I'm delighted to have been invited back. A brilliant.
Yes.
Bob Spur TV.
10:45 Saturday nights. Chris is on tomorrow, so my apologies now.
And mine as well. Yeah, I do apologize.
Yeah. We're doing the usual, mate. We'll be thumbs up, thumbs down, talking about Spurs, football in general. The worst ever guess the footballer quiz, and then of course we'll have the wonderful Wankety Wank later on, which Kuva will be hosting, and then we'll be finishing off. It's only fair with Huss on the show. We'll be finishing off with some food talk, and we all know Kuva loves a good sausage. So we'll be all on the agenda for tomorrow night, 10:45. But please come over at 3:30. Myself, Kim, Rez will be there doing a Paul Stewart off. What about? We have no idea. Subscribe to this show. Let's Talk Tottenham. Chris, and these guys, and
Kimber!
but yeah, absolutely fantastic show. Thank you for having me.
Oh, pleasure. Absolutely great having all three of you on. Steve as well. Unfortunately, the technical issues there forced him off a little bit.
I think that was his YouTube debut, actually.
Yeah. But yeah, you should do that more often. It's always great having Spurs fans on. That's the Steve I met at the ground with you, right?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. I didn't know he was coming on today, and
no.
So when it came up, I thought, it's the same name, and it does sound like him, but I thought I better check just in case.
Yeah. But yeah, like everyone said, please hit the like, please subscribe. Recently got over 250, so 300 is the
come on
next one. Like I say, go over to Ben Kaufman's the Ben Coffee Company at 3:30. I'll put the link in the description. A few more comments here. I think complain a lot to you.
You need to tune in tomorrow. 10:45. It is different. Hey, I make no apologies. It's on a certain time on a certain day for a reason. 10:45. So it's after Watershed. There's no holds barred. It's a bunch of lads, sometimes the odd woman, especially if it's Ellie, it gets even worse, or if it's Kim in the chat. But it's a bunch of us sitting in a pub talking about anything, but football generally. And it's no holds barred. So, wankety wank on tomorrow night.
Doesn't need to be any more words for it. You said wankety wank on at 10:45 tomorrow. You've basically sold the show instantly there. But
kind of sums it up.
Three great channels here: Blue Sofa Songs, Tottenham on Tour, In the Wall, Bob Spur TV. Make sure you hit that subscribe and the notification bell, and all the videos that come out. Please hit the like, and then obviously please do the same here as well. Really helps the channel. Really helps the channel. But we'll be back on Hotspur Hood on Monday. On Hotspur Hood, I'm changing job as well, so there is no show on this channel next Friday. So it'll be Monday, and then you've got a week off of me rabbiting on and forgetting about Troy Parrott and where we're playing our friendlies. But until next time.
Chris, doesn't pole dancing normally involve night work?
You train in the morning and afternoon. Come on, man. Fair enough. But until next time, as always, come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs.
Thank you so much for watching, and to everybody who joined in the live chat. Before you go, please leave a like, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. It's all free and you'll be notified when we go live. Anyone who missed the live stream can still watch the replay on YouTube, and any comments, questions or suggestions on the comments there. For anyone listening to the audio only podcast, thank you so much for listening. Anyone who wants that podcast, you get that wherever you get your podcast from. Alternatively, go to our Twitter or Instagram page on the screen. We'll be back on Monday on the Hotspur Hood YouTube channel. Give them a subscribe. We're there at 7:30 p.m. UK time. And on this channel, Let's Talk Tottenham, 12:30 p.m. UK time.